which is how to handle that mid-court sitter, and especially on your forehand. And typically what happens, and let me bring up another video here and see if we can take a look at this. You know, first of all, what I want you to do is I want you to have the right mindset on this shot. And the wrong mindset is that you get a short ball, and you know, let me work us up to that point in this little video here where you get a short ball, and let me get it here. Here's the short ball, and right there you got a choice. And most people, and you know, look at where this ball lands. And I know everyone on this call, anyone who's watching this video, has seen the ball. And this thing almost literally bounces right on the tee, and it bounces up, okay? And everyone's thinking right here, what are we thinking? This should be a put away. You know, this should not come back. I'm going to look like a stud. I'm just going to mash the ball, and this is going to be a point ender. And the thing that you're not remembering is that you cannot tell your opponent, hey, you know what, opponent? You've got to stand right there. I'm going to pound it to this corner, I'm going to pound it to that corner, and you can't go over there. The thing that you cannot force your opponent to stop doing, and that's to guess or to anticipate where you're going to go ahead and play this shot. So you always have to be thinking that it's going to be a two-shot play. There's always got to be the possibility in your mind right here that if you go to this corner or if you go to that corner, that your opponent could guess, and maybe they could actually see. Maybe they know your game so well that they know exactly what you're going to do with this shot. And so what I want you thinking about is that this is going to be a two-shot play. And typically what happens is this shot is thought of as a one-shot play. And so what happens is right here, there's no footwork. You kind of move up to this ball and you stop right here and you just grip and rip. And when there's no footwork, when your body is stationary, standing up and down, the stroke mechanics don't work very well. You know, good stroke mechanics want you to have forward footwork or body lean towards your target to really be able to control the depth of your shot, the depth of your stroke mechanics. The right mindset here is that, just like we said, this is going to be a two-shot play. And you're always thinking, and here's the key word, approach. You're thinking approach, and again, you're either going to go deep, or you're gonna either go deep, as I said, or you're going to drop it. And both of those shots require footwork. You know, a deep approach shot or a drop shot approach shot requires footwork. So you're always thinking this. If you end up hitting a winner, congratulations. But at least what you're doing is setting yourself up for the possibility of that second shot. And when you do that, your stroke mechanics get better. You're going to stop hitting the ball off the fence. You're going to stop burying the ball into the bottom of the net because you have no footwork through this. And you're going to get much more consistent. And you're going to put a lot of pressure on your opponent never again to be able to have a ball that lands, you know, right in here. This is the ball where I see it a lot, is you get in here and you stop and you just unload and the ball goes deep. All right? So what we want is a different situation where you get the short ball, and the first thing I want you to think about here is that right now you've committed. And it's so easy. I mean, what do? We go, oh my God, do I drop? Do I slice? Do I flatten? Do I top? Do I go here? Do I go in the middle? Do I go to this corner? And as you go through that whole laundry list of choices, by the time the ball finally gets there, you haven't committed to anything. And typically what happens when you don't commit early is your spacing, that distance you want away from the ball at contact right here, is not good. I mean, what's the distance here between this and, you know, my body? It's pretty, you know, it's a pretty generous space. Too often, if you go through that that checklist of what shot you're going to hit, and you wait to the last second, is the ball gets on you, it crowds you too much, and you can't play any shot that you want to go. That you want to play. And so again, here's what's going to happen is I'm now playing an approach. I'm playing an approach, and look at my footwork. I'm coming in, and it works out as I've hit a winner. But the fact is that if Mai had guessed on this as I'm hitting, if she'd been over here and she'd seen me hit this shot a million times, and she just guesses I'm going over here, well, that's fine, because now where am I? I'm coming in, and I'm in good shape here, same as you're going to be on this shot, to be able to play the next shot. So again, this shot you can get consistent with because of footwork, and that's all that you have to do is to think mentally, this is going to be two shots. It's going to be an approach shot. Whether you play a drop shot, got no problem with that. You want to make it look like, an approach off this short ball, show them the approach, the deep approach a couple times, and then they'll be set up for that next short ball. You show them the exact same setup, and guess what? They're really going to be set up for that drop shot. So, blah, blah, blah. Any questions on this shot? This is really, this is something that I used to do all the time. I'd come in with this mindset where I just was thinking, you know what? I really need to put this ball away. I really need to, look like the stud and put it away. And lots of times, you do put this shot away, but you don't bank on it. You think to yourself, this is a two-shot play. If they anticipate, I'll be ready to play that second shot. I'm guaranteeing you, your stroke mechanics will get so much better because you've now got good spacing, you've now got good footwork, and typically, if you hit it to a corner, up the middle, you watch the pros. Lots of times they play this shot right up the middle of the court because they're anticipating that their opponent's going to guess one corner or the other. And once that opponent leaves the middle and guesses one corner or the other, the middle is completely wide open. Drop shot's always there for you too. So I want you thinking that that's always a possibility. Any questions on this? Have we got anything? Okay. Mike, good question. Are there any things your opponent shows that will dictate what type of shot you hit off of a short ball? Let's see. If they've got tendencies, Mike, I'm not clear exactly. Go ahead and keep typing in some more in the text box if you want to help me with this question. But I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. What I think you're saying is, do they anticipate one side or the other? Lots of times what I will do in the beginning of a match when I get some short balls is I will train my opponent for the future. And I will train them by hitting, shots to certain spots on the court just because I want them thinking that's a very strong possibility if I get that same situation in the future of the match. So, if that's what you're thinking, in terms of their tendencies, I suppose that you could train some tendencies of where you're going to go. The other thing is, again, if they have extreme grips, what I will probably do is I'm not going to flatten out or I'm not going to top a short ball, because if they've got extreme grips and they guess, the right spot and I hit it flat or maybe even sort of semi-top it, I feel like I'm sort of kind of hung out there to dry, even though I'm moving forward through this. So the tendencies there are that if they do not, have a slice, if they've got an extreme grip, yeah, I'm probably either going to play a slice approach deep or I'm going to play a drop shot. But I don't know if that answered your question. If so, I hope so. If not, okay, so what you're saying is, how do you decide which shot to hit? Yeah, you may not know this opponent, and this opponent you may have to tinker with it. You may be trial and error a couple times, and you might get burned a couple times. That's not going to stop you, And this is another point I just thought of that I didn't write on this presentation PDF. But sometimes you get a short ball and you go ahead and you play it as a drop shot. You approach to one corner and you get burned a couple times. They end up anticipating it, or maybe you play it right in their wheelhouse. They anticipate it and you get passed. And then the next time you get an approach shot is you end up now going back to the wrong mindset, which is, you know what, I got one shot here, I got to unload. And the reality is, if this guy can take every one of your approach shots off of his off of his short ball and pound it for a winner, this guy ought to be in the tour. So yeah, you can show them something different. If they've hit 2 forehand winners, then try the backhand the next time. If they've hit 2 forehand winners where you've hit a flat approach, then try a drop shot to that forehand side. Try a slice to that side. Try not going to a corner. Try playing it right up the middle. It's not a problem to ever have to play a second shot. If you've got to go ahead and play it right up the middle, which I love to do, because obviously the geometry there is you really cut down on those angles. And sometimes we get a little tentative on that short ball because the short ball is doing what? The short ball is really kind of sitting here. When you come in on this short ball's got no pace. It's just sitting there. And so you need good stroke mechanics. And if you're at the latter stages of a match, the last thing you want is to have a ball that's got no pace, where if you're going to have to bump it a little bit and give it a little juice, the stroke mechanics have to really be good. And so, you might go ahead and even if you play this shot right here, sort of medium pace, but you play it up the middle where you really kind of make the angles not as great as if you play it to a corner, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. So again, this shot is all about mindset. You're playing 2 shots. You're going to play at least 2 shots. And now once you start thinking that, you're always going to have good footwork because you're going to play your feet through the shot, good spacing, and you're going to be good to go. So guys, you know what? I got to scoot. I got to get a kid off to volleyball practice. I really appreciate you coming by today. And if I did not answer your question or something was not clear, send me an email either to askbrent@webtennis.net or you can go over to let's see. Let me get this to or you can go to Brent at webtennis.com. That'll also get it to me. But glad you're with me today. I'm going to get this replay done for you here. Probably not tonight, but sometime tomorrow. I'll get it posted hopefully by tomorrow night. And glad you're with me today. Everyone have a great day out there, and look forward to having you on another webcast with me very soon. Talk to you later.